What is good, guys? It's your boy Yaron, and you're watching the Yaron Show Knicks Take. So it's been quite a while, and I definitely know why. I've been really busy, but how about those Knicks? I mean, aren't you entertained? The New York Knicks, the Westchester Knicks. I've been going to a lot of games of the Westchester Knicks, of course, not really the New York Knicks, but we'll get into that. Um, it's been very interesting for the last couple of months. Um, it's been very up and down, winning and losing and all that stuff. Um, but let's talk about it. I mean, we're doing really, really well. We're sitting in third place. Um, of course, in second, it is Boston. In first, obvious, we have Cleveland. So we shouldn't be upset in that because we're doing well. And of course, we're winning some games at least. You know, the fact that we are kind of winning. So it's really good of where we're sitting right now. But I hope you guys are good. Let's get into the video and yeah, let's talk about the Knicks. So like I said before, we've been having a lot of ups and downs within the games, mostly ups because with Thibs' help, he knows what to do in these situations. And what do I mean by that? Is that whenever it comes down to the games, of going up against these hard teams, he doesn't back down. In the first half of these games, we get to a rough start with all these good teams, no matter if it's the West, the East, a team that's not good, Washington or New Orleans, but we come out ready to learn at the second half, and that's what we're doing. We're doing just that, and we know what to do in situations in terms of that. Um, but let me show you of the wins and losses that we had within the the games. So of course, earlier in January we had the win, or sorry, the loss against the Chicago Bulls, which at the time it was Zach LaVine, scoring. I want to say, oof, I don't remember. I think it was 30 points or something like that. But I'll check on my phone because I think I still have the, let's see. I think, yeah, 33 points. Wow, I was right on the dot. 33 points. He averaged 13 out of 21 in the field goal. And yeah, he was just 3 for 6 and 3 point percentages. Even though right now he's in Sacramento, which I'll get to the trades later. Still gonna be talking about them, but he got traded to Sacramento after that, big Shams bomb with starting the weekend with Luca and Anthony Davis, which I will get to later and react to my reactions. But yeah, he had 33 points when he went up against us when he was in Chicago, of course. Um, and it's kind of interesting to see that because he did really do a good job, and as well as for Chicago themselves, they really played a lot of good defense. They knew where we were at that time. Um, and if you've seen my show throughout the past, I said I'll say this again and again and again because I am a repeater uh, within my videos. Defensively, offensively, this was our weakness. Um, the reason why is because we were too good. Um, and also, when you take back out of last season, you learn of what is to come within those games, knowing that within those games, we outsmarted teams that were really, really good. Take Indiana for an example. Now they know how to play against us. That doesn't mean they're going to be 100% good. That doesn't mean, you know? it means they could play 100% well. They could play much better basketball than us. But when it comes down to, you know, what when it comes down to what we have at the end of the day, it's gonna come down to this. Hold on, I just wanna remove my I'm trying to remove my face, but I should have done that. Okay. Doesn't matter. But they know what to do against us in a position like this. Here it is. Never mind, I found it. They know what to do against us in a position where we are too good for them. When it came down to Indiana, Indiana was very strong. Indiana knew where we came from in terms of the regular season. They knew because when it came down to the way that they were playing versus the way that we were playing, they had key stars. They had Obi Toppin, former Nick. They have TJ McCullough. They had Tyrese Hallenberg. So they do have key players, but when it comes down to playoff basketball, or when it was playoff basketball at the time, we didn't know how to play. And what Thibs is telling our guys is that this is how teams are going to behave against us, because you never know when Zach LaVine is going to score on you 33 points. He's going to score on you 33 points. He's not just going to score because he'll be kind enough to let you have the ball and to take possession. No, he's going to be an ass, and he's going to take away the ball from you, so that way you cannot have any possession to take it away. Now, of course, they played very good. Of course, I keep on repeating myself, but they played good, meaning Chicago. Of course, it was their night because they hung up Derrick Rose's jersey. Congrats to him because he did help us within the last 3 years, 4. So yeah, there was a lot of situations that it came down to, but they were really too hard on us, and that's what it came down to. You know, then the second game, which was Orlando, they won. Orlando won, and I'll tell you one thing. Why am I going to January? It's because, first of all, I didn't make videos for quite a while, so that's number one. Number two is because I just want to share what I have to say, of course, because it's the truth and what we have to look in terms of this coming up of 2 months. And it's also playoff time. So when you think about this situation, think about that what I'm saying right now is not just because I've got to talk about it, but the fact that at the time we weren't so good. We played shitty and we played not so good basketball. So, of course, we lost that game against Orlando, a team that it is struggling right now, but at the time, right after we lost against Chicago, we were tired. First of all, it was literally the same We went one. We traveled there with over 1 day. I don't know what was going on in our minds. you know, Cole Anthony, right? Is that his? Yeah, Cole Anthony. Because I'm thinking about his dad, Greg Anthony. Um, his son literally just put us down to the position where it was like, you guys are not good enough. You could try to beat us, even though we're 27 and no 24 and 27, but you guys are not good. And guess what? We actually played we played really good, later on within the season. But when it came to that game, we weren't the best. It was just magic, you know, much like their theme song, Orlando Magic, Orlando Magic, and they were just way too, you know, good at that time. The fact that some of these guys averaged 15 points, meaning Cardwell Pope and Cole Towns. It was a lot to take in. Now, when it came down to on our end, Jalen Brunson, 24 points. Give that guy some credit. MVP. Um, Isaiah Hartenstein. What the fuck did I just say? Sorry, guys. Josh Hart. Um, I mean, with all due respect, Isaiah, you were a good player, but now you're in OKC, so you're in the. If you guys see it within the picture, he's in. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. He's in OKC. So sorry about that. But yeah, Josh Hart with also 15 points. Um, 14. I think it was assist, right? 14 rebounds, and he had a couple of assists, but it was hard. It was hard for us to play as much defense. Now, again, like I said before, these teams are going to come out strong. Understand that these teams are coming out strong. Even the next game that I'm going to be talking about, which is the Toronto Raptors and us. Now these guys, meaning Toronto, they have key players of RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly, former players of the Knicks. So they know what to do in that position. Even though they weren't as you know, good, but they did play really decent. Um, of course, eh, going up against Toronto during that game, I don't want to say it was easy, but it was more of practice because, of course, Toronto is not doing well. They're 16 and 34, probably right now. No, 16 and 34 right now, but probably at the time they were much less. And of course, yes, Emmanuel Quickly averaged during that game 22 points, 7 for 12 in the field goal, and 3 for 6 in 3-point percentages. I don't have any problem with that because, of course, teams that are not doing as well, they're going to compete against you. They really are. They're going to compete against you, and they're going to be much more tough enough than you. Why did we lose the 2 games with the Bulls and the Magic? Because they knew what we came from. Of course, We were in a 9-game winning streak. We were on fire. We thought we could deal with the pressure of going up against Isaiah Hartenstein and the Oklahoma City Thunder, knowing that we came out of a win from the Toronto Raptors. Comes to the conclusion that, okay, this is a wake-up call. So, of course, with Quickly and Jacob and Scotty Barnes and all these guys in Toronto, they came back easily. But of course, here's the thing. While the game was going on, we were still down at the first half. Come back at the second, we're scorching hot. So, but we did a pretty good job, Karl-Anthony Towns, 27 points, 9 for 14 in the field goal, and 3 for 3 in the 3-point percentages. So, yeah. And then, of course, this is going to be the last game that I'm going to be telling you guys, but we got the win against Milwaukee. But that's a different story, and I'll probably talk about that maybe a little bit later if I have enough time. But with OKC, this was the last game. Well, not the last game, but the last game that I'm going to be telling you guys. They won. They won big time. It was close. Let me tell you guys this. It was close. If you go to the play-to-play, at some point they were really close. Like, I'm going to show you right now. They were really close to the point where they were like, okay, let's try to beat these guys. God bless me. They're going to try to beat us. And, I think it's head-to-head over here because I'm in the computer. On the app, it says something else. So, let's see. Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. Because on my phone, I have it something else. But let's see. Trends. Okay, doesn't matter. But okay, it really doesn't matter, but when you look at how we did, it was just all over, You knew that they were going to win no matter what they were going into, and we thought it was going to be an easy game. Of course, Shai with 39 points, 15 for 21, and he was 1 for 1 in the 3-point percentages, as well as, Jalen Brunson, 27 points, 5 for 15, 1 for 2 in 3-point percentages. What they did in this game coming here, they wanted to humiliate us. And what do I mean by that? They knew everything that was going through on our minds. They knew we have to lock in on Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal, Big Bodega, Karl-Anthony Towns, of course. If I'm not saying it right, just comment. That doesn't matter. They knew every single move we had. They have a center that came to their team and knew everything from A to Z. I cannot say that it's a fact that probably Hartenstein knows the weakness and the strengths that I said throughout my videos from a while ago. But what I could tell you is that the amount of strategizing that they did was they did a lot of their homework, and they knew what we were going to play because Thibs was going to play that same play. And it worked. For them, it worked. I don't know what their strategy was, but what I could tell you is that their strategy was very spot on. And yeah, listen, with every move that they knew, there was no way that they would not win against us. And they did it, you know? They really did. Um but yeah, that is all of what, the New York Knicks have done. Now within Westchester Knicks, we won 10 games. The Westchester Knicks won 10 games out of the 4 on fire. On fire. Like if if I had to talk about the Westchester Knicks and what they have done throughout the month, first of all, Moses Brown, the guy is on fire. TJ Warren, same thing. Since the beginning of the season, he knew what to do. Just averaged, I want to say, 35 points a game. 35 points a game. These guys know what they're doing as well. Think about it. Last season for the Westchester Knicks, they were 14 and 36. They lost 36 of the games when they didn't know what they were going into. And to see that happen, I mean, this season they were, I don't know. This season they were great. They were, if I had to tell you how much they're doing, I don't know. You know? And as a matter of fact, I'm going to show you right now how they're doing within the G League. Like, I mean, look at this. This is November. Throughout the games of November. Let me take you back to November against Long Island. TJ Warren, 36 points. Guy is on fire. 36 points at the beginning of the season in Long Island, my hometown. The guy killed this team 2 times. 2 times. I'm telling you, 2 times in a row. Then go back home. No, sorry. Then go back to Maine. And they just did it again. Now, of course, it was a little bit rusty, going back and forth because then we lost against the Capital City Go-Go's, and it wasn't great. We lost by 2 points. And these were 2 points that we should have won. This was 2 points that we should have won in this game. So they lost, and I'm talking about the one after the high, that one. But right after, and I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6th bar that goes up where it says that we lost, I believe. It was hard, but where you see the 2 bars after the one that goes up, I'm assuming that one was with the Capital City Go-Go's. We lost by 2 points. I think it was what was it? I think the first one was obviously was 95 to 97. So that one was a big defeat. And it was the same thing for the other one. They dribbled the ball. They knew what they knew what we were going through. And yeah. But then after that, you talk about a 9 game winning streak. And some of these were at home, some of these were at away games. But we won. We won. And that was the same thing for January. If you look at January, it's a little bit up and down because we did go away and come back. There were just games where we couldn't hold on to. This one right over here at the start of February, I want to say that's against the affiliates of the Orlando Magic. We did lose against the affiliates of Orlando. So that was kind of a bummer because, of course, you had Mac that was on fire, and we didn't have a key player that would hold on to the possession of the team. But what I could tell you is that, with Ochumo Okeke, with Jacob Toppin, with all of these guys, they know how to carry the team again and again and again. Now, also, we won the championship against the Skyforce, the Miami Skyforce. I don't know what the city is, but I'm going to call them Miami. We won against the Miami Skyforce within an instinct. And I could tell you one thing. We didn't back down. Because right after last season, we kind of understood where we're coming from. And I think in February, it's going to be very interesting to see what games are going to come to the conclusion of who is going to be better than what. Now, of course, today, maybe after I'm recording or, something like that. But I think it's Friday and Saturday. Yeah, okay, never mind. So while you're watching this, probably you know what's going to happen if you're watching this on a Friday, Saturday, or maybe Sunday. But if not, and you're checking this video out before the Westchester Knicks are going up against Cleveland, period. It's interesting to talk about how the Westchester Knicks are doing because they're almost ending the season. So I really hope Coach could really get us a lot of wins and losses and, just that. More of wins than losses because last year we didn't do great. But sometimes we need those losses so that way we know what's going to be good and beneficial for the team. So, but this time in this season, Westchester does need to win to go to the playoffs. At least that, because when it comes down to some of these guys, they really do deserve to at least go to the playoffs and just go up against good teams. And I believe Westchester is really, really good within this season. So, and by the way, they are also in third place, right? I think they're in third. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. Yeah, let's see right over here. Yeah, the Westchester Knicks, I want to say they're sitting. Yeah, we're sitting in fourth. Is it bad? Not really. But when you look at the standings, I mean, Capital City, 10-4. Mad Ants 11-5. 11-5. Now here's the thing. I'm a little bit confused with how the G League website is because I think it's a little bit wrong that we should have been in second before because they had like a couple of wins and losses, and I'm talking about all of these four teams because we were really good, and I thought we should have been in first. But I don't know. I think the G League is a little bit different, so I don't want to complain about it as much. But it is how the league is. So yeah, you know. Wow, I actually never knew there were hotels for for the G League. Something else and something different. But yeah, when it comes down to the G League and how I've been going to more of these games, I think it's very interesting to see how this team is going, and getting, more and more better to see. And by the way, the loss that we had against I want to say the Magic, you know, here, look, it says it all. Warren stuns to a loss to the Magic, but he had 33 points. That is what we need. The more that we have veterans coming to the G League, it makes it much more entertaining. It makes it much better for these, like, it makes it much more, you know, like, understanding for these rookies that did not get drafted. So it's very interesting. And some of them get called up, some of them don't. So it's very interesting at the end of the day to see some of these players, come up and, join the G League, as well as for uh, Isaiah Thomas. He's in Utah right now. A lot of people doubted him, but you see this guy averaging 40 points. Listen, these veterans, they still have it in them, but sometimes you need the G League for the help, and that's what the G League is for. It's not like you're going down to one league and then you're like, okay, I'm done. Let me go to the G League because that's where, you know, why is it called the G League? First of all, it wasn't always G League. It wasn't always Gatorade League. It was developmental league. That's what it was in, like, what was it, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, nine, something like that. That was its original name. When you are not good, you were meant to go to the G League. You were meant to go to the development league. You as a person, you know where you're coming from going to these two leagues. So it's not a Debbie Downer going to the G League. This is good. By the way, if you have never been to these G League games, highly suggest that you go to them. If you're a diehard Knicks fan, please, wow, you get a once in a lifetime experience of, like, the whole county center just feeling like Madison Square Garden, you know. Yeah, but you know, yeah, you know, yeah. Anyways, guys, hold on for a sec. I'll be right back, and right after that, right after I'm back, we're gonna be listening to what Jalen Brunson had to say, what Mikal Bridges had to say, um, what Thibs had to say after yesterday's win against Toronto, of literally yesterday, which was 2-4, yeah, 2-4, 2025. So that's gonna be interesting. Okay, be right back. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Your Own Show, Knicks Take. And yeah, so last night the Knicks won against the Toronto Raptors, and they won pretty good last night. They won, I want to say, I don't know why I'm saying I want to say, but they won. I'm watching a commercial because I'm trying to get the thing on my phone. They won 121 to 114. And I've got to say, this was a very good game. You know, yeah, it was a really good game yesterday. Uh, and I also got to say, this was a game that we were very much prepared. And of course, you know, without a shadow of a doubt, it was very well fought. Um, of course, for Toronto Raptors, for Scotty Barnes, 23 points, 8 for 23, 1 and 5. Very, they had us, well, they almost had us during the first, I want to say first half, but when it came down to the second, we took it all. Jalen Brunson for 28 points, 10 for 21, and 2 for 7 in the 3-point percentages. Very interesting. I should have paused it. Um, yeah. By the way, sparkling ice, fruit water, or punch, whatever the fuck it's called. Not sponsored, but it's really good. Um, but yeah, it was pretty tense game, and I've got to say, we were really into that, mindset of how will we work it out, and how will we come up to play really good against these guys. So, you know, but let's hear what uh Tibbs has to say. But before that, I want to also give out the stats. We were 50% in field goals, 32 in 3-point percentages. Think about that. 32 percentages of three-pointers. That's nothing. And of course, it was a little bit shaky within the free throws, but it was good. 82%. So overall, we did good last night. We really did. Uh, you know, yeah. I mean, but let's hear what Tibbs has to say. And yeah. So that was Tibbs and what he had to say about the team. One thing that I will agree in him, and this is for the team itself, is that he's more confident to say what's on his mind. He had a lot of credit, like he said, lots of credit to Toronto fighting back within 114 to 121, I want to say. Double check right now. But yeah, 115 to 121. Listen, he is right. Give them credit because they have some hard guys. Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly. They came out more and aggressive, but it was also us that we had a little bit of a shaky start. We we didn't know how to approach the game as much, and we were struggling very hard defensively, offensively, um, and that was just in the first half. Really, I want to say that was just in the first half of the game, but I'm telling you now is that we don't have any problems. I'm looking at now and I'm asking myself, do we need a number three? And now it's trading deadline. So when you think about it, everyone is like, nah, like the Knicks are interested in Kevin Durant. What are the odds that right now on these analysis reports and all that stuff, what are the odds that the Knicks need a higher prospect of getting someone like Kevin Durant, of getting someone who's really good? Maybe if it was someone small, and there's a little bit of speculation of maybe Mitch, of maybe Jericho Sims, but there doesn't need to be a big deal to say that we are interested in Kevin Durant. We're not interested in Kevin Durant. The guy dumped us less than, what was it, 8 years ago. He is a slob. He can't play. No offense, he can, but he's a slob. They're going to pick him around for different teams. The guy is talented. Don't get me wrong. Kevin Durant is talented. I'm not saying that he's not. But when you bring someone to the Knicks, we will criticize you like we did with Julius. Look on Knicks Twitter. I see it all the time. I listen all the time. And yes, my opinions are not going to be the best because, of course, I'm going to go for the fact that maybe Kevin Durant is good for us. Now I don't think he's good for us. We do have a captain. His name is Jalen Brunson. Stop nitpicking on Kevin Durant. He is over. His time is up. We don't need him anymore. Salam alaikum. Like, literally, salamat. Bye. Get the hell out of my face. You want to go to Jimmy Butler? Maybe get a draft pick from Jimmy Butler to go to Phoenix. But I'm telling you, we're good. We just need small picks. Here, Thibs said it yesterday. He said we don't need any, like, the word on his tone was we're doing good. We're doing good, even if it's a win or a loss or just in between. We're good. We're good. What would we do if we would have Kevin Durant on the team alongside Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, and Karl-Anthony Towns? He's selfish. That's what he does. You know why? Because he's too good. You add up Karl-Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, and you don't even need these guys anymore. That's the problem. And you know what happens in 4 years from now? Then we're fucked. Then we are effed. That is the problem. So you don't need these 4 players anymore because then we just rely on Kevin Durant. I don't want that to happen to New York. Okay, do you want to bring maybe like I don't know, like maybe a player like Denny Aftia? Yeah, sure. Bring someone like him. I don't know. I don't know. Bring someone small. Like we don't need someone big. If that means that we're gonna get rid of Mitchell Robinson, okay, but what's in the deal? We don't want to. We don't want a player. Like we want a decent player that is gonna play consistent minutes and that will play strong and aggressive. We don't want a player that's gonna sit down on the bench and just enjoy the beach. That's not what we're here for. The last 3 years have been a bomb. Yes, okay, we still had Julius Randle. We had 1 year that we still wanted, you know, Dante DiVincenzo, even though we traded him for Karl-Anthony Towns because every person in Knicks Nation wanted that to happen. That was on our heads for 4 years. And listen, we called it. You know why? Because it was much bigger than we expected that Kevin Durant was going to come to New York. Literally 2000 and what was it? 15, 16. We fell for the fact that we thought Kevin Durant was going to come to the New York Knicks. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. You know why? Because he chose reverse. He chose the fact that Brooklyn was such a big team. Do you know what happened to that? They thought that it was going to be Kyrie Irving. It was going to be Kevin Durant. It was going to be James Harden. 3 good players. But guess what happens? Then they start to get tired. They sit on the bench. And yes, some of them get injured. They're amazing players. Don't get me wrong. Amazing players. But they chose the wrong route. They chose the wrong route. And yes, you know what we got in return? We got Julius Randle. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm praying. At the time, I said it was decent. I said, you know what? Maybe we'll win another championship. Maybe we'll go to the playoffs. We didn't. We didn't. There was that one time that we made it to the playoffs, but, Trae Young fucked us. And since then, till this day, we're actually telling him to go fuck himself. But yeah, if you're asking me about yesterday's game, we did so good. And the fact that, the media right now, in terms of the trading deadline, literally tomorrow, is that who are we going to trade and what are we going to trade? Let me just make this loud and clear. We don't need a trade because we're good. Everything is good. Every single thing that we have right now is good. I mean, if it's a small player, okay, do whatever you want. But we're good. Everything that Leon Rose has done within the last 3 years, we trust him. Even if it's kind of like a WTF move, we trust him. Yeah, it's a movement that we trust. You know what I mean? Like we really trust in Leon. With whatever trade he has in mind, whichever free agency he, supposedly to acquires, we rely on him as much as we, we do rely on what we want, but it's kind of like it's Leon that we trust. It's World Wide West that we trust. Think about this. Remember 5 years ago? We were all saying, okay, so now, like, what was it? I think it was like my first video that I talked about Stephon Marbury. Was it Stephon Marbury? Yeah, I think so. And I think he talked about Porzingis and all that stuff. And looking about his comment about what Stefan said, At the time, that was the biggest thing that he was kind of right. You know, the matter that Knicks Nation knows what we want, and us too. I'm a part of Knicks Nation because I know what I want from these players. These players who play in and out of the court, no matter if it's the G League or in the league itself, we know what we want. Like, think about it. Even I heard within like the Westchester Knicks games, I heard players, or not players. No, it wasn't players. It was actually fans. I heard fans saying that if T.J. Warren comes to the Knicks and averages 36 points, when let's say um when let's say Jalen Brunson is out, that is what we want. Why do you think he's in Westchester? Because that's going to fuel him up. Remember when he was in Indiana? He just killed it. He killed it in the bubble. That's what he's doing here. That is what Karl-Anthony Towns is literally doing here. Sorry, not. Oh, fuck. TJ Warren is doing here. I wish it was Karl-Anthony Towns. I mean, okay, if you're injured and all that stuff, maybe he could come, you know. But I'm not so sure. I think he would be good for just one game. But yeah. But yeah. I mean, what Thibs just said right now is absolutely correct. Give credit to Toronto. They did an amazing job. Brunson and Josh Hart, Carl and Mikel and all these guys, they do deserve the credit. Even look at Cameron. Cameron, man, the guy, like when Jalen is sitting, you know that Cameron is going to come out strong. Like Cameron, I'll tell you right now, how much is the guy performing? Shit. Yeah, Cameron Payne, yesterday, 7 points. Let me make it clear. 7 points. You know what I mean? It is what it is. The Knicks are killing it in all cylinders. If you ask me, we don't need a trade. If Leon thinks that we need a small trade, we'll make a small trade. It's not going to be big. You know? I mean, maybe if it was a Mitch, it could be big. But I'm telling you for Fords, I'm telling you as a fact, it's not going to be Kevin Durant. He's not welcome here. That I will tell you for a fact. And I have all respect for Kevin Durant. He's an amazing player. He won 3 times in his career with the Golden State Warriors, but he's not New York. Just not good New York mentality. He wants to go to Brooklyn, or does Phoenix want him to go to Brooklyn? Why not? If Phoenix wants him to go to Miami, please. We don't give a shit because we're good. That's just a matter of the fact. You know? Now here's the thing. If someone in Knicks Nation, thinks that I'm just talking BS out of my ass, I might be. I want you to correct me because I might be wrong. And you know what? That happens to me sometimes. But that's just what happens. And when it comes down to that, I believe that yes, we will win, in this game and within the season because we kind of deserve it. I mean, look at the trades that has been happening over the last Okay, so at least for now we don't have to deal with all of that stress, but it could happen. So let's see. And if you kind of missed what I was talking about, I was talking about the trading deadline and how I think we shouldn't get rid of anyone. And just like small trades, even if it's possibly like Mitch and all that stuff. But I wouldn't get rid of someone, you know, to take on like, okay, maybe Kevin Durant, like, because I know, Knicks fans know Leon, that he's really smart. So like when you think about it, it's kind of like he's gonna make a good move for the Knicks. Um, and before I was just storming about the same exact thing on and on and on again. So yeah, I don't know if you guys missed that, but I will let you know if you kind of missed the complaining that I did with over the last 30 minutes. If you didn't, no problem, because I don't know how this goes in terms of yard, but you know, but if you look at this right over here, you have some acquirings from different teams. So like, the Suns acquired Richards, and then, three for, the Phoenix Suns, and, you know, PJ Tucker for Pat Mills and all that stuff, like there is there is a possibility, but the one that was mainly like deal strike was this one right over here, where it was Luca, it was Anthony Davis. That one flew, and then it was Zach LaVine, which earlier I mentioned how he played against us a couple of months ago, or I think, yeah, it was last month. So far there is a little bit of accusations of who's going to be traded to what, but tomorrow is the big deal. And what I just want to end it is that sometimes we, like within this season, we're good. We're good. We are good even without Kevin Durant or anyone like that. I complained about it. I don't know if it's still on, but if it was still recording, we're good, But yeah, we'll see what goes on. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a really long one, but I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Also, make sure to ring that notification bell to watch more videos like this. And yeah, anyways, guys, enjoy your day. Peace and love. What's up, guys? It's your boy Ron. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And also, make sure to check out some of my other videos. Anyways, guys, peace.